When doubt exposed the incredible strength of love. A touching journey to life-changing redemption, Maya sat at the small kitchen table, her heart heavy with the weight of it all. Bills piled high, looming like mountains, casting shadows over her meager dinner of canned soup. The wind howled outside their small, worn-down house, mirroring her inner turmoil. She was a single mother at 38, grappling with the burdens of poverty. Losing her job at the grocery store had twisted the knife deeper into her already frayed life. With each bill that arrived, the walls of her dreams seemed to close in tighter. Her oldest son Jake had dreams of college. She could see the fire in his eyes when he spoke about the future. But that was before the job loss. Maya felt like she was drowning in a sea of despair, and she worried that their dreams were slipping away, one day at a time. Lily, her younger daughter with her innocent smile that lit up the room, couldn't fully grasp their struggles but felt the shifting tides. It was as if the very fabric of their family was being tested. A community event that was meant to uplift. The air grew heavy with old tension. When she spotted her estranged father, a Vietnam veteran whose demons had driven him away all those years ago, the painful memories flooded her mind. His absence was a ghost that haunted her, unspoken regrets hanging between them like fog. Suddenly the atmosphere shifted. A well-known local entrepreneur, inspired by his own rise from humble beginnings, cleared his throat and announced a scholarship opportunity for Jake, an opportunity that could change everything. But it came with a significant catch. Jake would have to leave their small town, a place that had been both their refuge and their prison. The crowd buzzed with excitement, while Maya's heart sank. This was Jake's big chance, but where did it leave her? Could she bear the thought of her son venturing into the world alone, while she felt trapped by tattered dreams? The idea ignited a storm inside her. It wasn't just about school. It was about family, unity, and the fear of losing close bonds. It was about letting go and clinging on at the same time. As they stood face to face, an emotional confrontation erupted between mother and son, feelings laid bare like raw wounds. Maya felt her chest tighten as she tried to articulate her fears, her voice trembling. Jake's frustration echoed back, a mix of anger and hurt. The tension sparked deep conversations about loyalty and ambition, the conflict exposing their vulnerability and raw love. Before we continue, I need to let you know about something important that's happening. YouTube has been making changes to the system, and many people are losing notifications from channels they follow. If you're enjoying the content, hit that bell and mark all notifications so you don't miss the next videos. And if you can drop a like, it really helps me with reach. Seriously, it makes a difference. Oh, let me know in the comments where you're watching from. I'm always curious to know who's on the other side of the screen. Now let's continue. Maya's heart ached at the thought of losing Jake to the world outside. But there, in that charged moment, she glimpsed something profound. Love's promise of redemption. Could they bridge the gap between dreams and duty? Could they find a way to pursue individual hopes while keeping their family intact? As the weight of uncertainty pressed down on her, Maya's thoughts danced around that question like fireflies in the dark. Hope flickered within, a tiny light refusing to be extinguished. How could they navigate this crisis together? Would their journey lead to brighter tomorrows? Or would doubt suffocate their dreams? The path ahead twisted into an unknown, leaving the unresolved tension hanging heavy in the air. The moment hung in the air, heavy with unspoken words and broken dreams. Maya's heart raced in her chest, the conflict between her desires and her instincts pulling her in multiple directions. She took a deep breath, her eyes locking onto Jake's. The fire in his gaze made her both proud and terrified. Could she really let him venture out like this? Would he come back? Silence stretched, filling the space with a tension that crackled like electricity. Jake broke it first, his voice raw. "Mom, it's a scholarship. It's my shot at something big. I need this." The urgency in his words stung like a slap. She could see the excitement on his face, a future he could barely grasp yet already yearned for. Maya blinked back, tears, the mixture of fear and love rising in her throat. "And I need you here, Jake. I can't do this alone. What if you don't come back?" His expression shifted, confusion replacing urgency. "You think I wouldn't? I'd never forget about you and Lily. You're my family. But what about your dreams?" "I don't want to hold you back," she argued, the lump in her throat tightening. Jake stepped closer, the distance between them shrinking. "You're not holding me back. You're my motivation." I want more for all of us. More? Maya echoed, her voice barely above a whisper. More means leaving, Jake. It means chasing dreams in a world that hasn't exactly been kind to us. The pain of possibility hung in the air, suffocating and fragile. As they locked eyes, the turmoil melted into a shared understanding. He wanted to soar and she wanted to protect. It felt like trying to catch smoke with bare hands. Red-hot anger and profound sadness danced between them. I want what's best for you, but she fumbled for the words. You need to understand how hard it is for me too. Do you think I don't see it? I see you every day working hard just to keep things together. The compassion in his voice unraveled something deep inside her. There was a moment of clarity. She could never shackle his ambition, and in letting go, she might actually find her strength too. Maya felt her resolve begin to shift, like warm rays of sunlight breaking through dense clouds. What if we figured it out together? The idea crept out, tentative but bold. What if you take the scholarship? I'll help you find ways to afford living and we support each other from a distance. It might be hard, but Jake's eyes widened, hope igniting in a heartbeat. You'd really support me? Of course I would, Maya said, determination sparking in her own heart. The atmosphere lightened, shadows slowly lifting as they engaged in the uncharted territory of trust and future possibilities. The path wasn't just about leaving or staying. It was about a shared journey, redefining the boundaries of love and hope. Just as she felt the warmth of that notion wrap around her, the door creaked open. Lily stepped into the kitchen, her innocence shining like a beacon. She held up a crumpled piece of paper, a drawing of their family entwined in a circle. Look, we are always together, right? Maya's heart swelled. This moment felt fragile and yet powerful, like a fragile blossom blooming in the cracks of pavement. Always together, she echoed, pulling Jake into the embrace. But as they held on, doubts began lurking again at the edges of her mind. The world outside remained a constant, unpredictable force. They had made a pact, but could love truly weather the storm? Would dreams entwined with heartaches ever flourish? Or would the distance prove too much? And as these questions stirred in her heart, Maya couldn't shake the feeling that this was just the beginning. The days flew by like the wings of a restless bird, each one tinged with a mix of hope and worry. Maya busied herself with preparations, trying to suppress the gnawing anxiety that hung around her like a storm cloud. Each visit to the grocery store brought reminders of Jake's absence, the empty seat at the dinner table echoing loudly in her mind. He was excited, packing late into the night, dreaming of the new life that awaited him. And yet, as she watched him, there was a hollow feeling in her chest, one that reverberated with every laugh they shared. One evening, as the sun dipped low in the sky, painting the horizon in shades of orange and purple, Maya picked up an old photo album she had stored away. Leafing through the pages, old memories spilled out like rain. Jake as a toddler, clinging to her leg, grinning with gaps in his teeth. Family trips, messy birthday parties, moments that showed their bond strongest when faced with storms. Each snapshot whispered stories of battles fought and loved one, fueling her heart with nostalgia and bittersweet sadness. Mom, look at this. Jake called from the other room, holding up a new poster he'd found for the upcoming art show at the college. His face, brimming with excitement, was a much-needed reminder of why they were doing this. A flicker of doubt danced in her chest, but she swallowed it down. Looks amazing, Jake. I can't wait to see your work displayed, she replied, forcing a smile that masked her concerns. It's going to be great. I'll show everyone my style. And then they'll know just how great it feels when art doesn't just hang on a wall, but tells a story, he exclaimed, pacing around the living room, fueled by the stirring energy of anticipation. Later that night, as Maya tucked Lily into bed, she tapped on Jake's door, peeking in before entering fully. He was sprawled on his bed, a sea of sketches and notes surrounding him. Hey, she whispered gently. Hey, he replied, glancing at her with eyes bright from inspiration and determination. I'm just working on how I'm going to present my art. It has to mean something, you know? Maya nodded, sinking onto the edge of his bed. It's beautiful. What you're doing, I mean. You're going to do amazing things, Jake, she said, her voice trembling with unrestrained emotion. He paused, studying her expression. You're thinking of the distance, aren't you? About how hard it'll be. It's hard to let go, she admitted, her voice thickening. I'm proud of you. I really am, but sometimes I feel like I'm losing you. Nobody can ever lose family, he asserted, his tone a comforting balm against her fears. We might be miles apart, but nothing changes how we feel about each other. Trust that. A swell of love fought against the tide of her worry. Promise me you'll be careful, Jake, she murmured. When you feel lonely, don't hold it all in. Call me or come back when you need to. I promise, he said sincerely. Maya wrapped him in a tight hug, relief washing over her. For a moment, the stars outside twinkled like a promise of resilience. As she turned to leave, she felt a shift in the air, a gnawing sensation that something yet unspoken lingered between them. What if the trials ahead tested more than their commitment? What if handling distances and dreams shattered something precious? Her heart raced with new worry as she stepped out of the room, closing the door quietly behind her. This was just the beginning. Yet it felt weighted with the surreal certainty that love could both tie them together and tear them apart. Tomorrow would be the day of departure. And with it came the promise of new beginnings entwined with heart-stopping nagging doubts. Can a bond withstand the silent battles waiting in the shadows of fleeting moments? As Maya lay awake that night, she couldn't shake the feeling that the hardest part was yet to come. Maya woke the next morning to the muted sounds of early birds chirping outside her window. Sunlight streamed in, illuminating the empty corners of the room, and for a fleeting moment, she felt at peace. But the clock on her nightstand reminded her that today was the day. Jake would leave, embarking on his journey while she stayed behind, grappling with an emotional roller coaster. She shuffled into the kitchen, the aroma of brewed coffee hugging her tightly. With each cup poured, her thoughts flew to Jake, his laughter, his dreams, the way he painted the world with color. He was ready to take the leap. But what if the colors faded? What if loneliness seeped into his heart like a slow drip from a faucet? Maya. Jake's voice broke her reverie, soft and tentative. She turned to see him standing in the doorway, a duffel bag slung over one shoulder and a hopeful smile on his face. Hey there, artist, she said, trying to inject cheer into her voice. All set for your big day? I am. He beamed, but she could see the flicker of uncertainty lingering in his eyes. Lily's footsteps padded through the hall, her bright, curious face peeking around the corner. Jake, are you really going to school today? Like today? Yes, today, he laughed, scooping her up in a playful hug. I can't believe my little sister is old enough to miss me. Of course I am. Who else will I annoy? She giggled, and for a heartbeat, the weight in Maya's chest lifted. Your annoyances will have to be on hold for a bit, Jake said with a wink. But I'll call you every day, I promise. Maya watched them, her heart swelling at the sight. With Jake's energy filling the room, her fears momentarily retreated, replaced by the warmth of family. But in the pit of her stomach, worry stirred like a tempest. Can we take a picture before you go? Maya asked, eager to capture the moment. Jake nodded and Lily bounced out of the room, returning with a bright, colorful cardboard frame. They lined up against the wall, arms draped around each other, every laugh captured against a backdrop of shared memories. Maya snapped the picture, an imperfect snapshot of chaotic love. All right, serious faces, she called, attempting to steady her emotions. As they posed, Jake's expression slipped slightly, revealing vulnerability beneath his excitement. Mom, you're gonna be okay, right? He suddenly asked, the question floating heavily in the air. Of course. I'll be just fine, she replied. But her voice wavered like a leaf in the wind. I don't want to worry about you while I'm gone. The moment dragged on, tension swirling around them. Maya forced a smile, but inside, a clash of pride and fear twisted. You need to focus on being great out there. You've got so much to achieve, she insisted, hoping to make him believe it, hoping to breathe strength into her words. Jake nodded, though his eyes betrayed his doubts. Promise you'll call if you need anything? Promise, she said firmly, her heart aching for the distance that would stretch between them. Time slipped by like grains of sand through her fingers, and before they knew it, it was time to go. Jake hugged Lily one last time, the little girl's arms struggling to squeeze around his waist. Don't forget to catch really big fish for me, she begged, her eyes shining with the innocent hope of childhood. Only the biggest, Jake chuckled, but they both knew it wouldn't be just fishing. The weight of change weighed heavily on them all. Maya stood back, her heart and mind in conflict as he walked out the door. Wait, she called suddenly as he reached the steps. He turned, looking back at her, confusion lingering in his eyes. What is it, Mom? Just always remember, you're going to shine out there. It's okay to be scared. It's okay to not have all the answers. Just don't forget that no distance or dream can break what we have. He smiled, warmth flooding his features. I won tea. As he disappeared down the path, Maya held her breath, heart racing. Doubt bubbled up again, wrapping around her like a thick fog. Could their bond truly withstand this? Could love survive the distance? As she stood there, a single tear rolled down her cheek, the weight of tomorrow pressing hard against her chest. Tomorrow would change everything again. Would they emerge stronger, or would the silence slowly stretch the distance between them into an unbridgeable chasm? With a heart full of hope and a mind drenched in worry, she closed the door, letting the void settle around her, and in the quiet, she wondered if they could really rely on the promise of love alone. Maya leaned against the closed door for a moment, letting the silence wrap around her like an old blanket. It was quiet, almost too quiet. She could hear the ticking of the clock, each second echoing the reality that Jake was really gone. The house felt hollow, the walls bearing witness to his absence. She took a deep breath, determined to shake off the melancholy. Lily was still in the living room, playing with her building blocks, her little face scrunched in concentration. Maya watched her for a moment, the sweet innocence bringing a small flicker of warmth to her heart. Hey, sweet pea, she said softly, moving to sit beside her. What are you building? A castle, Lily exclaimed, her eyes sparkling. And you're my queen. You have to protect it. Chuckling, Maya picked up a block and added it to the tower, watching as it swayed precariously. Well, then I better do a good job, she teased. The moment felt like a balm, soothing the edges of her frayed emotions. But as they built beneath the laughter, a knot twisted tightly in Maya's chest. Would Jake be okay? The thought crept in like an uninvited guest, persistent and unwelcome. She felt like a juggler, tossing worries into the air while trying to focus on the joy before her. An hour passed, or maybe two, and soon a sigh slipped from Maya's lips. The castle was complete, but it felt fragile, just like her plans for the day. Lily, do you want to go for a walk? She suggested, eager to escape the confines of the house for a while. Yes, let us go see the ducks. Lily jumped up, her energy infectious. Maya smiled, grateful for her daughter's spirit. They grabbed their jackets, Lily bouncing eagerly at every step. Stepping outside, the sun was blazing, the world alive with colors that seemed to shine brighter than before. As they strolled to the pond, Maya's mind drifted to Jake, wondering what he was seeing, how he was feeling. She imagined him sitting in a new classroom, surrounded by strangers, his heart racing in excitement and anxiety. A wave of protective instinct surged through her. She wished she could be there with him. Suddenly a thought gripped her. What if she could reach him? She pulled her phone from her pocket, hesitating for just a second. Maybe a text would reassure him, or even a photo of their walk. Lily, can you help me take a picture? She asked, kneeling down to Lily's level. The little girl wiggled with excitement. Okay, make a silly face. With both of them posing, Maya sticking out her tongue while Lily scrunched her nose, they snapped a photo. As Maya glanced at the photo, a wave of warmth washed over her. This was the love, the connection she needed to share with Jake. The reminder that they were still together, no matter the distance. With a quick press of buttons, she sent the picture along with a simple text. Thinking of you. Always in my heart. Taking a deep breath, she felt lighter. Maybe love wasn't defined by proximity, but by the little things, like reminders sent in the middle of the day or goofy photos that made someone smile. As they reached the pond, ducks waddled excitedly towards them, and Lily squealed in delight. In that moment of pure joy, Maya realized they were not just surviving the change, they were finding ways to navigate it, together. Little did she know, Jake would see that message shortly. It would change everything for him. With hope swelling in her heart, she watched Lily feed the ducks. And the whisper of a question echoed in her mind: what more could love accomplish when faced with uncertainty? Standing by the pond, Maya felt the warmth of the sun against her skin, but it was the laughter of Lily that truly warmed her heart. Every time her daughter squealed in delight as a duck splashed water with its beak, she couldn't help but chuckle. It was moments like this that made the weight of worry feel lighter, even if just for a little while. But the joy was tinged with something deeper, a persistent ache in her chest that reminded her of Jake. What was he doing, she wondered. How was he coping with this new chapter in his life? With every laugh from Lily, a question echoed in her mind: was he feeling alone? Mama! Look, they're chasing each other. Lily pointed at the ducks, her eyes wide with excitement. Maya knelt beside her, allowing herself to be drawn into her daughter's magic-filled world. They're playing just like you and your friends, Maya remarked. She thought fleetingly of how both her daughter and her husband seemed to glide through life with such unself-conscious joy. Suddenly, her phone buzzed in her pocket. Heart racing, she pulled it out. When she saw the message from Jake, a smile broke on her face. Just started my new class. Everyone seems nice. Wish you were here. Her heart swelled with a mix of relief and pride. Yes, okay, she whispered to herself. The weight of doubt began to lift, replaced by a sense of connection even amid the miles that separated them. Can we go home now, Mama? Lily's small voice broke through her thoughts. Sure thing, sweet pea. As they walked home, Maya felt lighter, more determined to keep the lines of communication open. The act of sharing their everyday joy with Jake was a small step, but it felt significant. If she could keep this connection, perhaps he wouldn't feel so distant. Once home, Maya took out her journal. Writing had always been her outlet, the space where her thoughts could unfurl without judgment. She began to jot down her feelings, detailing the small moments that filled her day with light and laughter, and she penned a message for Jake, one that she would send later. You are loved even from afar. Tell me about your new friends. She paused, her hand resting on the page. What did she really want Jake to hear? That he wasn't alone? That they would face this together? The sun dipped lower in the sky, casting a golden hue through the window as she contemplated the balance between joy and worry. Would sharing her innermost thoughts and fears bring him closer, or would it create more distance? Mama! Lily burst through the door, interrupting her musing. Can we bake cookies? And then maybe watch a movie? Maya chuckled. Absolutely. Let us make the best cookies ever. As they donned aprons and prepared the ingredients, she felt strength rising within her. This little life, filled with crumbs and laughter, was still beautiful despite the challenges ahead. Maybe the strength of their bond could protect them, just like her role as a queen in the castle of Lily's imagination. Later that evening, as the sweet smell of cookies filled the house, Maya clicked send on her message to Jake. Unbeknownst to her, the strength of those words would resonate deeply with him, sparking a realization that would shift both their worlds. But as they settled down with warm cookies and a beloved movie, an unexpected knock on the door sent a shiver down her spine. Who could it be? Maya paused, her heart racing as she glanced at Lily, who was wide-eyed, frozen with excitement. The knock sounded again, louder this time, as if demanding their attention. With a deep breath, Maya set her cookie plate aside and walked cautiously toward the door. Stay here, sweet pea, she said softly, motioning for Lily to remain seated. The little girl nodded, her eyes fixed on the door, grasping a cookie like a security blanket. Maya opened the door just enough to peek outside. Her heart pounding with apprehension. On the porch stood a stranger, a man in his late 30s with shaggy hair and a warm smile that seemed oddly familiar. A soft breeze rustled the leaves above them, as if nature itself held its breath. He held a package in his arms, and as he caught her gaze, his smile widened. Hi there. I'm sorry to drop in unannounced. I'm looking for Jake, he said, his tone friendly yet cautious. Maya's breath caught in her throat. She hadn't anticipated anyone looking for Jake. Not so soon after he set off on this new adventure. He's not here right now. Who are you? Oh right. Where are my manners? The man chuckled lightly, rubbing the back of his neck. I'm Daniel, a classmate of Jake's. We hit it off during our orientation. I thought I'd surprise him with this. He gestured to the package. It's a little welcome gift for him to help with the transition, some essentials he might need. Maya glanced back at the living room. Was this a good idea? Would seeing Daniel stir up emotions that were still raw for her and Lily? Would you like to come in? She asked, her voice steady though her heart trembled at the thought of introducing this stranger into their home. Sure, if you don't mind. Daniel stepped inside, his presence instantly filling the room with an air of camaraderie. As they moved to the kitchen, she caught sight of Lily, timidly inching closer to the counter, her cookie half-eaten. Lily, this is Daniel, a friend of your dad, Maya said, watching as recognition flickered in her daughter's expression. Hi. Lily beamed, her small voice brightening the atmosphere. "Hi there, little lady. What kind of cookies are these?" he asked, squatting down to her eye level. "Chocolate chip," she announced proudly, her initial shyness melting away. Maya took a moment to gather her thoughts. In the presence of this stranger, she couldn't help but feel a wave of reassurance that Jake had allies, even if he was miles away. "So, how is he doing?" she ventured, searching for some glimpse of how Jake was adapting. "He's doing great," Daniel claimed, his enthusiasm infectious. "He was nervous at first, but he's really opened up. Every time I see him, he talks about you and Lily. He misses you guys a lot." Maya's heart swelled at his words, a mixture of gratitude and emotion swirling within her. "We miss him too," she replied, her voice barely a whisper as they chatted. Laughter mingled with light-hearted banter about life at school, and for a moment the weight of loneliness lifted from Maya's shoulders. It felt like Jake was there with them, urging them to connect over shared smiles and stories. But amidst the comfort of this gathering, an unsettling thought nagged at Maya. Would this bond make Jake feel more connected to home, or would it amplify his desire to break free from their shared past? Just then, Daniel's phone chimed, and he glanced at the screen. "Oh, I've got to run in a moment," but before he could finish, the door swung open again. A familiar figure stood there, his eyes searching the room. It was Jake, looking as uncertain as she felt. And in that instant, everything shifted. Maya's heart raced as she noticed the surprise on Jake's face. And she realized the moment ahead would either bring them closer, or push them further apart. The room fell silent as Jake stood in the doorway, his eyes darting between Maya and Daniel. Time seemed to stretch, the air thick with unspoken words. Maya felt a pang in her chest, a mix of fear and love wrestling for dominance. "Jake!" Lily squealed, breaking the tension as she rushed toward him, her little arms outstretched. He caught her easily, lifting her up and spinning her around. The sight of their connection sent a wave of calm through Maya. Yet the uncertainty in Jake's eyes still lingered. "Hey kiddo. I didn't expect to see you here," Jake said, his voice warm but edged with confusion as he set Lily down. He glanced at Maya, who was still rooted to the spot. Daniel cleared his throat, stepping back slightly, recognizing the moment was changing. "I was just delivering this for you," he said, holding out the package, his easy smile fading into something more cautious. "Maya and I were just chatting." Jake took the package but didn't open it, his focus drawn solely to Maya's face. "What's going on? You alright?" Maya nodded slowly, nerves twisting in her stomach. "We were just talking about you. This is Daniel, a friend from school." "Right, the surprise visit," Jake replied, his grin returning but faltering as he sensed the heaviness in the air. "Do you want to join us?" Maya asked, her heart drumming in her chest. "We were just about to have some cookies." "Oh, can I?" Lily piped in, bouncing on her toes, eager to bridge the gap that had suddenly widened. "Sure," Jake replied, forcing a smile that didn't quite reach his eyes. He moved into the kitchen, still holding the package tightly. Maya felt a shift, the atmosphere filled with both hope and uncertainty as they settled around the table. Maya watched Jake closely. He was trying to engage with Lily, his laughter ringing lightly, but she could see his tension. Every now and then, he glanced at the package, the weight of it becoming harder to ignore. "Open it, Dad," Lily urged, her eyes sparkling with excitement. Jake hesitated, finally giving in. He peeled back the paper, revealing essential items. Notebooks, a warm blanket, and a small photo frame with an empty slot for their picture. The gesture struck him deeply. "It's like he knew what you really needed," Maya said softly, praying her voice sounded more confident than she felt. "I guess," Jake muttered, his gaze shifting to the frame. "I really do miss you guys." Before the conversation could deepen, Daniel chimed in. "You've got a great support system here, Jake. Look at how proud they are of you." His words struck a chord, awakening feelings of pride within Maya. Yet concern quickly shadowed it. "Yeah. About that," Jake began, his voice lacking its usual conviction. "I've been trying to focus on what's ahead. But it's hard, you know? Sometimes I wonder if I should have gone at all." Lily's brown eyes widened and Maya's heart sank. This was the moment she had feared most, where doubt crept in, threatening to unravel the tapestry of their family they had fought so hard to maintain. "Dad, you said you were excited. Don't you want to do this?" Lily asked, her innocence crashing against the heavy weight of Jake's uncertainty. I want to, Jake replied, looking directly at Maya now. But I also don't want to lose what we have. I don't know if I can have both. Maya felt her heart squeeze painfully. She longed to reassure him, to bridge the gap between past and future, but the words stumbled on her tongue. In that moment of silence, the walls seemed to press in, the weight of choices and fears palpable. Maybe it's not about losing anything, Daniel interjected, a thoughtful look crossing his face. What if it's about growing together, even apart? At his words, Maya's mind raced, the implications hitting her all at once. Could it be possible? Jake looked at her, desperation mingling with hope. What do you think, Maya? How do we make it work? Taking a deep breath, she realized she was standing at the threshold of a decision that would define their family. There was so much at stake, but she could feel the warmth of connection between them, flickering but alive. Maybe we can start by breaking down what missing means, she suggested, her heart urging her to embrace the challenge. And as their eyes locked, that flicker ignited into a flame of determination and love. But just as she felt that surge, the doorbell rang again, echoing through the air, bringing with it another mystery yet to unfold. Maya hesitated at the sound, her heart racing as the doorbell chimed again, filling the kitchen with an air of expectancy. Jake's expression shifted from uncertainty to curiosity, and Lily's eyes widened with excitement. Who could that be? Lily gasped, barely able to contain herself. I'll get it, Jake said, his voice steadier now. He stood up, trying to shake off the heaviness that lingered. As he made his way to the door, Maya felt the electric tension shift in the room. She exchanged a glance with Daniel, who looked as if he were trying to gauge the situation. Maybe it's good news, he whispered, attempting to offer some comfort. Or more complications, Maya replied softly, urgency threading through her voice. Jake opened the door, and Maya caught a glimpse of his face shifting from anticipation to surprise. Standing there was a tall figure, a woman with warm brown hair and a gentle smile. She looked vaguely familiar, but it took Maya a moment to place her. Rebecca. Jake's voice cracked slightly. Jake. It's been a long time, she responded, her eyes sparkling with recognition. The warmth of their exchange sent a ripple of unease through Maya. Jake stepped aside, and Rebecca walked in, her presence both startling and soothing. She spotted Lily first, her expression softening. Look at you, all grown up. I can't believe you're so big already. Rebecca. You remember me. Lily grinned, rushing forward to hug her. Maya remained frozen for a moment, piecing together the fragments of memory. Rebecca had been a close friend during their college days, but had drifted away after Jake's decision to leave for his new job. Seeing her now, the reality of their past flooded back, not just the good times, but the heartbreak and unresolved feelings that had followed. What brings you here? Jake's voice was steady, but Maya could detect an underlying tension. I was in the area and thought I'd reach out. I heard you were back, she said, her gaze flickering between Jake and Maya. An awkward silence fell, the tension palpable. Maya could see Daniel shifting uncomfortably, caught in this unexpected reunion. She felt her heart race again, a tug of protectiveness stinging her. Yeah, just trying to find our way, Jake replied, his smile strained. That's great, Rebecca said, nodding. I always knew you'd figure it out. You were always meant to do great things. Lily, oblivious to the undercurrents of emotion, piped up, we were just about to have cookies. You should stay. Maya glanced at Jake, searching for signs of what he felt. His eyes mirrored her own, filled with a mix of longing and apprehension. She steeled herself, determined to keep this moment from unraveling further. As they settled back at the table, Maya took a deep breath, trying to navigate the tightrope of her emotions. Daniel sent her a supportive smile, and she felt a swell of gratitude for his presence. Why don't we all just enjoy some cookies? She suggested, forcing a lightness into her voice. Rebecca, we've got plenty. Would love to. Rebecca grinned, and soon everyone was around the table, cookie platters in hand, but Maya felt far from settled. Amidst the laughter and conversations, another layer had just been added to their delicate web of relationships. The cookies were warm and sweet, but the bitterness of unresolved feelings hung in the air. As Maya glanced around the table, she couldn't shake the feeling that this gathering was a pivotal moment, not just for them but for all their dreams and insecurities. The questions loomed larger than any cookie shared. Would they all find a path forward together? Or would the past snag on the threads of their connection? In that moment, a knot of tension settled in her stomach, leaving her wondering if this gathering would lead them closer to understanding or deeper into chaos. Just then, Lily interrupted the quiet hum with an innocent question. Can we all take a picture to put in the frame, Dad? And as cameras were lifted, Maya hesitated, wondering if the heart of their family could withstand yet another surprise. The air in the kitchen was sweet with the scent of freshly baked cookies and thick with emotions. As everyone gathered around for the photo, laughter erupted, but underneath it all, Maya felt the tremors of uncertainty shifting in her heart. Say cheese, she called out, her voice masking her anxious thoughts. The flash went off, capturing not just their smiles, but also the hidden tension swirling around them. Jake held the new frame, his gaze flitting between Rebecca and Maya. This picture could become a memory, a promise that they were still together, an unbreakable unit despite the distance and changes. But would it really mean something in the face of the truth yet to be addressed? As they settled back down, Maya saw the flicker of an idea in Jake's eyes, an urgency woven through each of his glances. This is great and all, but I think we need to talk about this situation. Lily, the blissful light of the gathering, piped up. What situation? She blinked innocently, a cookie hanging limply between her fingers. Jake paused, raking a hand through his hair, unsure how to navigate the conversation. I guess what I mean is that there's been a lot happening, and I don't want to pretend everything is fine when it feels complicated. Maya's heart ached as she nodded. I think we've all been feeling it. It's okay to say things are hard right now, she added gently. Rebecca spoke up, her voice soft and steady. I think communicating is crucial. It's okay to share fears and uncertainties. We're all in this together. A shared nod from everyone bolstered their resolve, the walls slightly lowering. Okay, so let us just lay it all out, Jake suggested, taking a breath. There's an amazing opportunity here for me. But it doesn't come without its own weight. I'm scared that as I move forward I could lose ties with you all. Maya felt tears prick her eyes. It hurt to hear him voice the fear that had been tangled in her heart. You're never going to lose us. No matter how far apart we are, we're family. Love will bridge that gap, she replied, her voice trembling but steady in its conviction. Lily bounced in her chair, eager to protect the spirit of the moment. And we'll always be together, right? Even if you're far, you're still my best big brother. Her sweetness was a reminder of why they fought so hard for each other. Jake flashed a genuine smile, the kind that reached his eyes. Always, kiddo. Daniel chimed in, offering support. The first step is just to stay connected. If you need to talk or share moments, reach for your phone. Don't let distance build up walls. Maya felt her phone buzz in her pocket. A gentle reminder that life kept moving, a world beyond this kitchen was waiting. We can share pictures, stories. Just like today. Maya chimed in, hopeful. Rebecca nodded, looking at Jake. You won't be on this journey alone. You have friends and we can all help. We just need to keep the conversation alive. Jake looked thoughtful, the tension in his shoulders gradually lessening. Can we promise to check in regularly? He looked around the room, drawing in each approving nod. Absolutely, Maya agreed, feeling her heart swell with warmth that they weren't just surviving but creating a way to thrive together. Then it's settled, Lily exclaimed, her laughter ringing through the kitchen. Best family ever. The innocence of her joy washed the air with love, binding them deeper. Time ticked on, but in that moment they had dismantled boundaries. Through tenderness and laughter, they had acknowledged fears and lifted uncertainties. Maya took a breath, steadying herself. You're all my world, and together we can face anything. We'll be all right. Reality was still there, waiting in the wings, but this was a new beginning for them all. A chance to transform fear into connection. Before they wrapped up the night, Jake stood, enveloping everyone in a warm hug, his voice calm now. Thanks everyone. This means everything to me. As they released, my new love had a remarkable way of healing and connecting, weaving their lives into a beautiful tapestry. No distance could unravel. And just like that, they found solace in knowing that while paths might diverge, their hearts would always remain intertwined. So there they sat together in that kitchen, cookies in hand, embracing change while holding on to what truly mattered. Family, love, and unwavering support. This was the moment. Now let me ask you, do you feel that transformation? Do you feel how love can truly overcome? If you're inspired by this journey, you need to subscribe now to stay with us on this amazing adventure. This is the moment to show your support. Leave a like now to feed the algorithm because you care. Comment your reactions and feelings about this ending. We want to hear from you. And don't wait not even one more second to share this video with at least 5 friends who need to see this transformation. Real friends lift each other up. Let's grow this community together.